Love it or hate it, the care package has been a staple for almost every Call of Duty game. Opinions tend to vary as to whether or not the streak should be in the game. On the one hand, there's the risk versus reward. Most care packages have a heavy delay before you're able to capture the contents. This will put your team at a disadvantage, as it essentially takes one player out of the match for a while. Not only this, should you die, you're offering the enemy a chance at stealing your package. Now on the other hand, the care package is typically a lower tiered streak, which allows even the newbie boobies to earn it. This can cause a bit of frustration if you see someone going double negative, yet get the highest score streak in the game out of a care package. I myself am a vicious admirer of the care package. It's always my #1 used streak in any game that it's featured in. I'm perfectly capable of earning the higher tiered streaks on my own, but if you give me a chance to turn the tide of the battle with a low costing score streak, I'll take it any day of the week. As a primarily solo player, I can tell you that the care package has saved my team from the depths of despair several times simply by earning one of the higher tiered streaks out of it. Now with that said, let's talk about the drone package in Infinite Warfare. When the game first released, this was unlocked at level 51. For some reason, this was recently changed to unlock at level 4. That's a substantial decrease in level. I'm actually not certain why this change was made. The recent complaints from people regarding the drone package are likely a result of this change though. Nearly everyone playing the game now has access to this score streak, whereas before, only those who chose not to prestige or used a permanent unlock token on it were granted access due to the late unlock level. The drone package in this game has a very polite delivery service that will actually bring your care package anywhere on a map, even indoors. Once deployed, it lands and then flies automatically to the area you targeted as the drop zone. This of course is a double-edged sword. While it's nice to actually have the package delivered right to your feet, it also allows enemies to try and follow the package, which will lead them straight to your location. They did neuter the package slightly in this game, one reason being that there's no perk to reroll the contents. In most other games, the engineer perk allowed you a chance to swap out your reward for something else. Likewise, there's no way to booby trap a package in this game. On the plus side, the top tiered streaks are all available from the drone package. In Black Ops 3, the highest streak, which was the mothership, was excluded. I always found this a bit odd. In Black Ops 2, the highest streak, which was the swarm, was definitely in the care package. As I said though, Infinite Warfare's drone package contains all the top streaks. Which brings me to the point of this video. The statistical odds of getting each streak in the drone package. People have been complaining left and right that the drone package is way too powerful. And by this, they mean that the higher tiered streaks are way too common. Every time I read a statement like this, I have to shake my head. You don't hear about the hundreds of times when an opponent gets a UAV or a Scarab out of the drone package. It's just the 10 times an opponent gets a Warden or an RC-8. People only seem to recall the times they got mopped up by a noob with a high score streak, and thus they deem the entire drone package overpowered. My goal is to give you accurate percentages so that when someone cries wolf and demands a nerf, you can show them this video and tell them to roll up their black socks and stop being a wishwog. So my methods for gathering data were simple. Enter a private match, put on lots of enemy bots, crank the payload modifier up full blast, and reign supreme. This allowed me to call in hundreds of drone packages. I would then tally what I got in each package. A substantial sample size was required to get accurate results. So I enlisted the help of several of my friends to do the same tactics. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the 6 people that helped me with this task, including the enchantingly divine female streamer, Cocorenzy. A link to all their Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube channels can be found in the description. So 1,000 drone packages was my desired result. I've seen people do these types of videos before, but only do 100 packages. That's no way to get decent results. The more, the better. So let's take a look at my findings and see if the higher tiered streaks truly are as prevalent as people suggest. Remember, all these percentages are based off 1,000 drone packages. I have them sorted based on the point value of the score streak. Now as you can see, the Scarab was the most obtained streak at 143 times. This resulted in the highest percentage at 14.3%. It's no surprise then that the UAV was the next highest at 11.4%. The counter UAV and the Vulture were on par with each other at 8.7%. With the buff the Vulture recently received, it's now definitely beneficial to pull one of these out of a drone package. The first surprise to me is that the Trinity rocket and the bombardment seem to be heavily weighted given their mid-tier status. Both streaks aren't exactly game-breaking when it comes to brute strength though. The bombardment is easily avoidable for its point cost. I'd say the Trinity rocket is actually a better streak, despite the point cost suggesting otherwise. So to see the Trinity rocket at 10% was interesting. Another surprise was that the Scorchers and the Warden were on par with each other at 7.6%. Again, the Scorchers aren't that devastating of a streak. The Warden, however, is absolutely one of the best streaks in the game. Oddly, the Shock Sentry seems to be one of the rarer streaks to obtain given its middle tier status. I thought the 5.9% was extremely low. The 4 highest point streaks are of no surprise the most difficult to obtain. The Advanced UAV and the Thor seem to have the same percentage at 4.6%. Now the RC-8 seems to be just ever so slightly more prevalent than the top streak in the game. You can see that the RC-8 was at 3.7% and the Apex was a mere 3.5%. Now if I sort these by odds of receiving them, you can see that just a few streaks seem out of order, namely the Trinity Rocket, the Bombardment, the Warden, and the Shock Sentry. If it were up to me, I'd probably switch the Warden and the Shock Sentry around. Overall though, these seem to be pretty well balanced given the fact that there's no reroll option. I assume they made some of the mid-tier streaks a bit easier to obtain because of this. What should be clearly evident is the fact that the top tier streaks in the game have extremely low percentages compared to all other ones. Obtaining the Apex 35 times out of a whopping 1,000 attempts should prove that you need to have a significant amount of luck in order to benefit greatly. The drone package has always been hit or miss for me, and I've probably ran it more than most people since it's my favorite streak and I unlocked it right away with a token. As an example, in one match I earned the care package 3 times. Each and every one of them contained the bombardment streak, which was not surprising since it has a rate of 9.4%, which is the 4th highest. The very next game though, I got 2 Apexes in a row out of care packages. Just to show you I'm not making this up, you can see the score is 50 to 41 at the time of receiving my first Apex. If we fast forward just a mere 2 minutes, I'm calling in my second package in the same match, with the score now 69 to 55. And there's the second Apex. The odds of this happening are slim to none. But this is exactly why some people want to see the care package nerfed, which of course I don't agree with. Most of us seem to regard good luck as our right, and bad luck as a betrayal of that right. In short, luck's always to blame. But again, people only dwell on matches where their opponent get lucky, and thus get some of the top tiered streaks. No one seems to complain when I call in a care package 5 times and get 4 UAVs and 1 Scarab. I found that luck is quite predictable. If you want more luck, take more chances. Be more active. Don't get upset when people occasionally earn high-level streaks without sweating out the 1400 points. Instead, roll the dice and run the drone package yourself. You never know when Lady Luck will favor you. More often than not, the drone package will be of immense help in the most opportune moment. Nothing is more enjoyable than turning a surefire defeat into an overwhelming victory. Primo Victoria.